Just started.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for getting on tonight. My name is Debbie Kral. I'm out of Ocala, Florida. And I want to thank everybody to our October 14th, 2020 Think Like a Pro training call. I'm very grateful to be around this group of entrepreneurs and the people that have organized this so we can pass on tips to our teams. So especially grateful for each and every one of you that are here tonight. I want to start off by going over our 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. I think that's a given. Don't take anything personally. That is some great advice. When you don't get offended anymore, it really does help every part of your life, I believe. Don't make assumptions. I think when we make assumptions, a lot of times we make mistakes. And always do your best. Do your best at anything that you do, whether it's this business or your passions or your family. So I've been involved with LifeVantage for just a little over 8 years. And it was absolutely life-changing for me to be around a totally different tribe of people. I've been in the horse world all my life, and that was all I knew. So it was very uncomfortable to get out of that comfort zone and try and learn something totally different. But I had loved the horses all my life, been around them for, well, since I was 5, but was in the industry for 40 years. It changed a lot, and I didn't like a lot of what I was seeing, and I wasn't able to make that difference. I was purpose-driven, but that wasn't making a difference anymore. So when I was first invited to LifeVantage, it was from a complete stranger. Thank you so much, Jackie and Justin Brown, for having the courage to walk over. They were brand new distributors themselves. Don't ever be afraid to put this in front of somebody. If it's their perfect time, they are searching for it. So when I saw this, I was all in about the product, but I wasn't too sure about network marketing. I'd never seen anything about it. I didn't know it was real. I was scared to death I was ready for a change, but I didn't want to change into something I knew absolutely nothing about. So it was big for me to understand that the science was real, the people were real, but I wasn't too sure about the business. And so I got involved, and I promised Justin that I was never going to do the business. And the more I saw the results with people, and I also got a lot of the horses on it. And of course, every horse person has dogs. So we had, all the creatures on it, and I saw huge differences. And I thought, well, wow, this might be what something I'm supposed to do, but it feels so foreign. And I don't know anything about residual income, and I don't believe it's real. So I went to my first convention in 2012 just to go out there and prove to myself that this wasn't real, so I could quit thinking about this might be what I'm supposed to do. And I went out there, and I was just totally blown away. I came back, I was all in, but I had some hiccups about, how I was going to do the business. I came back thinking this was all about sales. I was successful at sales because I did a lot of therapy equipment with a horse business. And I was a real hard closer. So when I came back, I had a ton of, they were customers, but they weren't real customers. I closed on them too hard, and guess what? In the next month or 2, they jumped off because they weren't ready. And so I had a lot to learn about network marketing. Like I said, I had skills. I knew how to work, but not how to work this business. And that's why I'm so grateful of someone that's going to be on tonight to help teach us some tools and build some belief, because I believed that I could do anything I wanted to. I created 2 industries that didn't have anybody to follow. They were pioneered where you were the ones that figured it all out. And if you did see somebody coming along, it was somebody that was probably going to be your competition. So it was not a friendly situation. And so I had to learn how to do a lot of things in network marketing that were brand new to me, like learning how to be coachable, learning how to work with a team, because I was a one-man show. And there was a lot of things that I knew how to do. I could work, but I didn't know how to work this. And it was scary. And I was actually 6 months in the business before I realized there's this little book called it's our plan. It's the blueprint. It was still in cellophane 6 months later. I was out there trying to do it by myself and not being real successful. I had a lot of customers, but as far as finding business partners that were doing what I was doing, that was very difficult. So I knew I had to learn some skills, and probably one of the biggest things was for me learning how to reach out and ask for help for somebody else to teach me how to do this, because I I'd never been in that position before. You had to figure it out. So if some of you guys are out there thinking you're going to figure it out and, you know, come up with your new plans and come up with your new papers, and it's already been done. And most of us that are elites have already done it way too many times the wrong way. So I want to try and help you save some time. Just do what somebody else is doing that's already successful. When I got that in my head, that was when the magic happened with this business. I could quit spending a lot of time not being in front of a prospect or working with a distributor. Because when you're making all these things up, it's time consuming and it's frustrating, and you're trying to see if it works. And there's already there for you. Just make it easy. And that's why I'm super excited to bring on the person tonight that's going to be my guest, Sheree Gillaspie. She is a professional network marketer. I wish that I can't pour this in your head. She had to go experience it and believe in it and watch it work. And I'm sure she went down her own rabbit holes a few times, but she has now over 25 years of experience as a network marketer and brings so much to the table for us. And I'm excited that she's going to be able to share some things that can help your business grow much quicker than mine, because you just need an open mind. And she's an incredible individual. So excited to have you on here, Sheree. Please tell us your story.
Hold on, I'm going to turn, it's getting dark. I'm going to turn my light on. Just in case. Thank you, Deb. I am so very excited to be here with you guys tonight. I love Deb's story. I mean, every time I hear it, it gives me goosebumps. So you guys can learn a lot from all of these people, all of these leaders on the call. And I want to say that I'm just super excited that you all have joined together and joined arms to support each other's teams in LifeVantage. So yeah, again, thank you for having me, Deb. And I'd love to share a little bit about my story. Actually, I started in network marketing in 1980. See, my daughter was born in 84, so 1986. And I joined a party plan company called Discovery Toys. And I loved it. It was kind of one of the other depressions in the early 80s, for those of you that maybe were around back then. And, you know, I just did what I loved, and I shared with other people what I loved, and it grew to a big organization. And what happened then was I was asked to come to the corporate side of Discovery Toys. So I thought, well, that would be exciting. So I did that. And my job was basically to train people in the West, Canada, and the United States on how to grow a network marketing business. And so from there, when you're successful at something in the industry or in probably anything that is corporate, I got headhunted to 3 other network marketing companies. And what that means is that I worked for 3 different network marketing companies on the corporate side after I was in Discovery Toys for 11 years. And I thought, wow, corporate ladder, high heels, nylons. No, not me. I live in a town of 2,000 people, but I thought I wanted to be on that corporate ladder. And so I literally moved to Chicago for 3 years until our daughter was in college, and she said, Mom, I want you to come home. You know, I want to go to lunch with you. Dad, I want you to come home. I want to go fishing with you. And I thought, oh man, wait, I got to quit. So I quit. And at that time, I was in my mid 50s and I didn't know who I was really. It was kind of crazy. I thought, you know, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to have? It was, I had a great life, but I knew I didn't want to wear those nylons and wear the high heels and do all that stuff. So I came back here to Oregon. We moved back and I took a deep look at myself, and I was very sick. And I mean, sick in the body. My body was not well. I had a lot of problems. And so I decided to go back to school in 2007 in holistic nutrition and learn about nutrition and learn how to heal myself through food. And so I was 6 months from completing my master's when I got a call from someone I hadn't talked to in years. Carrie Dickey, Master Pro, whatever, 11, 12, I can't even keep track of her. But back then, she had heard through the grapevine, you know, the grapevine out there, the network marketing grapevine, that I had gone back to school to get my master's in nutrition. And she picked up the phone and she called me. And she said, and you guys are taking notes, hopefully you all are, she said, I found something I'm super excited about and I'd love to get your opinion. Good invite. So I thought, well, no problem, because I was sitting at my kitchen counter and I was writing a paper for school. And I thought, no problem, just get me away from writing that paper. And she said, well, you have to see this thing that, you know, somebody showed me. And it's an ABC Primetime Live Investigative Report with John Quinones. And of course, me being the age that I was, I knew exactly what she was talking about because I watched that show all the time. So I watched ABC, and then I found something called Dr. McCord at Sea Change, SEACHANGE. And still today, when I sponsor a new person, I have them watch this. So if you haven't watched it, it's 46 minutes and some change. And I found it and I watched it, and it was all about NRF2, which is all we had. And it blew my mind. It just blew my mind. It was so incredibly exciting. And maybe it was because I was in nutrition, but I was really excited. So the next day, I think it was, I called Carrie and I said, okay, so I just researched in one of my books on my shelf, and I found out that Dr. McCord co-discovered superoxide dismutase, SOD, at Duke University when he was like in his 20s. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is the guy that created NRF2, Protandim NRF2, and I was so excited. So, you know, I ended the day thinking, if this product does what ABC says it does, then I've got to tell everybody. I got to get it in my body, everybody's body. But here's the thing, you guys, we were in an economic downturn in the late 2000s. So here's what you need to know. I was back in school. I was teacher's assistant. I had just lost my dad. He had passed away of Parkinson's and dementia. I was working 2 jobs, and Rick had lost his job and working a whopping $1,000 a month job. And needless to say, the call came at an emotionally painful time for us, a financially frustrating time for us. But guess what? I was open to look and offer an opinion because she was just asking my opinion. So I hope you're getting these little hints in here. So Carrie went on to tell me that she and Stu Brody, who told her about ABC, were flying to meet Dr. Joe McCord in Colorado. And I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm the one back in school. I know what SOD is. I've got to meet this guy. That's all I cared about. It wasn't going through my head that this was network marketing or anything. I was just super excited. So you heard what I talked about with the economic downturn. Well, I didn't just have $600 or $500 or $400, whatever it was, to fly to Colorado. I got online and I found in our United Bank, whatever it is, that we had a free ticket. So I talked to Carrie on a Sunday. On Tuesday, I flew to Colorado and I met with Dr. Joe McCord for 2.5 hours, and I was all in. I asked him everything I could possibly think of about the product and how it worked and all of that stuff. I even asked him to take me upstairs to his lab and test my blood, but he said, no, that's why we have the first peer-reviewed study, because it's done. Everybody's oxidative stress is lowered by 40% on average, right? No matter what. So the next thing I did was that I went back to the hotel room that Carrie and I were sharing, and I called a friend of mine because I found out it was network marketing. I had no clue about this compensation plan. I took a short look and I went, whoa, what does that mean? So if you're new on this call and you don't know the comp plan, it's okay. I didn't either. But I called a friend of mine, and I used to work for him. And his job was to write compensation plans for other companies. And I said, I'm going to shoot this over to you. He called me back And he said, and I quote, "That's the richest compensation plan I've ever seen. I wish I would have written it." So I had the belief in the product. Now I had a third-party validation, and I had the belief in the compensation plan. That did it. I didn't know what to do or how to do it, but I had the validation. So I found the way, borrowing from my mother, to get the money. And I was Carrie's first person that she had on her team, and she didn't even know it because I just signed up. So Deb, that's kind of the fast way to how the journey began.
Wow, that's incredible. But you know, I like to listen to people's journeys. It's like you had done so much in the past, so much homework, that when you came to LifeVantage, you know, you had some tools, a lot of tools in your box, because you'd already been in network marketing. You understood it was real. And you keep it simple. All we do is ask somebody to take a look at something and get their opinion. I think so many times we make it really complicated. I know I did. I wanted to tell them all about it. Well, it's not about me telling them all about it. It's about somebody else telling all about it. So that's one of my tools that I had to learn, was say less to more people. But so now you're in LifeVantage. You've got this toolbox that you've had for a long time, growing it. And your story, I think, to become an elite is just incredible, that you hit Pro 7 in 9 months. And so that would be enough to say, give us some tips on, but you went on and hit Pro 9 in 23 months. That's just incredible. Could you give us some tips there?
I can. Yeah, I love what you said about keeping it simple. And I always am excited when I'm asked to talk on these kind of calls, because in the first 2 weeks, I just kind of threw up on everybody. I met Dr. Joe McCord, you know, and they don't know who he is. I did it wrong in the first 2 weeks, but ever since, I've done it the way that the leaders before us have showed us how to do it. And that is to follow what we used to call, and we still can say, it's a proven plan. And so that's what I still do, and it's what I did. So one of the first things I did when I joined LifeVantage was I listened to a recorded call that was out there back when I joined 10 and a half years ago. There were only calls called The Proven Plan. And by the way, you can still listen to them, www.theprovenplan.com. And there's some of the most recent ones on there in the last 3 to probably, well, it could be like up to 8 years, but that's all we had. We didn't have Zoom. We didn't have trainings, you know? And so I got on this call on how to build your why. And I thought, okay, well, that's kind of important, you know? And so I started building my why. And I want to emphasize to you all that when you're building your why, it takes some time. So you don't build your why first and then take action. You build your why throughout time. And this is very important, because a lot of people just get, you know, stalled. But back then, my why was obvious. It was very strong, you know, needing financial gain, because Rick and I were losing our house here in Oregon, and it was a very unstable, icky time for us. But I knew in here that I wanted to share the benefits of NRF2 technology. And then when I learned about the compensation plan, I thought, oh my gosh, this could get us out of the hole. So the first thing is to think about your why and start writing it down. And what I've done recently since June is, you know, my why's changed so much over, and I see names and faces on this Zoom, or yours has changed too. It's changed so many times over the last 10 years. So I recently defined my why in a more complete way than I've ever done before. And that was by getting out a journal, a fresh new journal, and starting to write in it, you know, starting to create my new why by just writing in a journal. It's not just a sentence, it's like pages and pages. That's what you have to do to really get to that deep why that makes you cry. It has to be so deep to make you take action. So I encourage you to maybe get a journal and start that. Also, you must keep your why in front of your eye every day, or it's going to fade away. And I have pictures, I have all kinds of stuff, you know, that I carry with me. And I don't want to go into that because that's not what I want to dwell on. But what I want to talk about is really having a plan and making sure that you are sticking to that plan. And, you know, you hear a lot about the daily method of operation, you know, that people do and have. And so you do have to touch your business every single day. I've learned that when you have a plan, you're motivated to do the things you plan to do, but you will only do those things when your why is strong enough. So, very important, Deb, what I've done over the years is basically the same thing as ITT. You invite people to see, for this is all Sheree's opinion, by the way, tonight, but you invite people to watch a video. And in my case, and still in the past and now, is I have them watch ABC primetime in any shape, you know, or form that's out there. That's my go-to, and I have them watch that. I'm inviting them to watch a video. And this is not through a text. This is not through an email, because if there's a house on fire or they're at your neighbor's, you don't text them or email them, you call them, right? That's how important what we have is. That's how absolutely vital it is. So I still pick up the phone and I invite them, you know, just like Carrie invited me. I'm really excited about something. I really want you to see it like I saw it, and I want to get your opinion. If I sent an ABC primetime live, or just if I sent you an ABC TV video, because people listen to ABC TV, what? Primetime, you know, everybody's kind of over that. But if I sent you an ABC TV video, would you watch it? You know, if I would you. And then you get a time. And that's a key piece, because a lot of people are not getting the exact time. And I learned that clear 10 years ago, that I need a time because I have 2 jobs. I'm trying to get through my master's degree. I need to get a time that they're absolutely going to watch it. So I would get a time. If I sent you this ABC video that was on TV, would you watch it by 5 o'clock today? Sure. Well, what time? 3 o'clock work? Great. Well, then I'll call you at 3:15. And you know what? I'm so excited because to get your opinion, because you're gonna want to share with me what you saw and heard that excited you, you know? And then what I do with them at that point is I will chat with them and listen and listen and listen. And then I will say, oh my gosh, you're making so many good statements and you're asking so many good questions. I'd love to get my mentor or friend on the phone to get those answered. And guess what? We can learn together. The third party call. Now, ITT, I might be a little backwards on the TT, but that's okay, because this is how I grew the business and I still do it today. So invite to watch an ABC video. And my first T, because I don't want to wait till next Tuesday to get them on an overview. I want to say, hey, let's get on the phone with one of my mentors, my friends, whatever you want to call me, and let's get these questions answered. And what my team knows to do is to text me and say, hey, I'm making calls between 2 and 4 today, or hey, I have somebody that's going to be watching the video at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Are you available 15 minutes after? I love it. That's how I built my business. Totally. So if you've fallen off getting your upline, sideline friend, mentor, whatever, of doing that third-party validation call, get back on it, because it works. So I'd like to get my friend or mentor on the phone to get those questions answered, and we can learn together. It's the follow-up that I usually use for the overview call. So if you, Deb, get me on a third-party call, and you know this, then I'm probably going to suggest to the prospect, hey, we have an overview coming up, and sounds like this could get a lot more of your questions answered. It's just a part of the follow-up. And the part that's so important for you guys to understand about the follow-up is it takes time. It takes steps. People don't sign up just because, you know, they met Dr. Joe McCord like I did. It took probably all of the elites that I have and the people that I've signed up more than 5 times. You know, I mean, Tammy Doherty's one of my top people, and she hung up on me like 3 or 4 times. So, you know, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I hope that makes sense, that the ITT is still what I do today, and it's still from before. And I think, Vendy, and you know, those of you that are on here that have been around a while know that I was super excited about the launch guide and ITT because it's really what we've been doing all along. And I've never doubted that this system works. It's a proven plan that the leaders before us used, and it still works today. So I'm sharing this with you because I want to be the third-party validation that ITT works. It only works when you work it. Your results are the direct reflection of the actions that you take or that you don't take. So.
Oh, thank you. That makes so much sense. I love the fact that you keep reiterating keeping it simple. I do know I made it difficult, and it cost me time. So to have a Pro 9 talk about just keep it simple, that's what the company's going through. How many times do we hear ITT?
Doctor.
So just one more question. I know we're running close out of time, but since you do sit on the advisory board, I would love to hear your opinion. I know that every one of our conventions are important, but is there anything that you can add to what's going on here?
I got goosebumps because I know stuff you guys don't know being on this advisory board. But before I share that with you, I just want to give you guys the end of the story because hopefully it will be impactful for some people. We lost our house 6 months after joining LifeVantage, and yet achieved Elite Pro 7 9 months, and like Deb said, 23 months Pro 9. And that's not what happens on average. I get that. I mean, I worked very, very hard, and you all can do that too. But one thing we were able to hold on to is this piece of property we're on right now. And in 2015, we decided to build our dream log accent home, but we couldn't find a bank to give us a loan, even with Pro 9 income. And that's crazy. We went to 11 banks, but because of this incredible compensation plan, we found a builder that would allow us to pay him paycheck to paycheck. And we moved in here in January of 2017 and built our own home. And I wish you could see the incredible mountain view. I don't want you to let go of your dreams. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. Children dream of being a, fireman or a veterinarian or whatever they dream of. Don't ever stop dreaming. And because of what we've achieved in LifeVantage, we're able to give back with our time, with our money, to all different types of organizations, and we're leaving a legacy for our grandchildren. So we're very excited about the future for all of us at LifeVantage, and we have, being on the SAB, are you kidding me? We have groundbreaking nutrigenomic science products, and guess what? A compensation plan that finally pays me what I'm worth and can pay you what you're worth. So you ask about convention. Well, I'm really proud to be a part of the scientific advisory board as a nutritionist. And I just want to say, and I'm not going to be, breaking any rules because I don't want to be kicked off that board, but I want to say to you guys, it is vital that you get on Convention Live. And what is it? The 23rd and 24th, right, of October? Yeah. You must, people are saying to me, oh, it's available for 30 days. Are you kidding me? The 30 days after, or 29, 28 days after, is for you to rewatch things that you want to see again. When you're at Convention Live, when we were, there in person, you can't watch all of those things over and over unless you video all the segments. So don't think about waiting. You've got to watch it live, because I'm telling you, and I've been cleared to say this, that you might miss out on several announcements, which means you might miss out on some limited time offers. Just saying, you want to be right there, right now, or you could miss out. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. And I'm going to be singing that from the rooftops from now until the 23rd, which is like, what, 9 days away? So everyone, I just want you to look forward. Just look forward. What is the saying? I've said on several calls, look forward in the car, what is it called? The dashboard. Look forward and don't look in the rear view mirror. Don't look behind. Stay the course. If you don't change your life, you don't change your life. You change your habits, and your habits change your life. And lastly, I love this because I'm kind of new to the organization you guys put together here. This book, The 4 Agreements, it's right behind me on my bookshelf. Every January, I read it every January for I don't know how many years. And this is really, really important to your success and just to you know, your life in general. So, gosh, almost made it exactly on time. But thank you so much for asking me to share. I hope you guys got some nuggets from this. And LifeVantage is a huge passion of mine. And I just want to help as many people as we possibly can get up to the elite ranks, you know?
Wow. Well, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so very much. You always bring so much to the table, just a wealth of knowledge and your passion. I'm incredibly grateful that you were able to take some time with us tonight and pass on some nuggets. I know I took tons of notes. I think I saw a lot of other people too. I think one of the biggest things is keep your dream in front of you and really sit down and figure out your why. I heard that in the beginning and I didn't do that. I can tell you I did so many things that weren't right, but you can change them. So if you don't know what you're really looking for a why, you know, you need to have to maybe spend a little time with yourself. And if you want to, you know, call your upline, call somebody that is there for you. That's one of the biggest things that I got out of coming into LifeVantage is people are there for you, just like Sheree is, just like this entire team of people that have put this together for us, that we can reach out and touch other people, whether it's our organization or not. It's all about helping people. So Vandy, and I really appreciate you helping out tonight with me, especially. Technical isn't good, but it's getting better. So thank you all and good night.